Welcome back, everybody, to the A.J.I show, episode 37. It's fine. If you're not already following, please do, and share this to all of your friends, your families, your brothers, your sisters, your moms, your dads, your aunts, your uncles, and your cats, dogs, owners. And let's get on with the episode. We're just gonna keep it. Welcome back to another week, another day in the life of us. How y'all doing? How you doing?
Doing good.
I'm here with my wifey, my beautiful, wonderful wifey. We are back. We are back from EDC. EDC. Don't mind my face all over my shirt. We are back, guys. So we're going to tell you all about our EDC experience. Mm-hmm. And hopefully that lasts the entire length of this week's episode. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Real quick, we just kind of got back from my sister's graduation. Mm-hmm. That was fun. I've been on a little cheat week kind of spree, kind of eating whatever for a good reason, though. Okay, for a good reason. Mainly because we've been lacking on food these past couple days because of EDC. So yeah, I've been getting my energy back, all that fun stuff. Yeah,
let's get right into it.
Yeah, let's get into it. So we left Thursday morning.
Yeah.
Early Thursday morning, woke up 7:30, something like that. Got ready, got everything in the car, got packed the day before, left, went to go pick up our friend Jacob Kahn from his house. Mm-hmm. And then started our way to Vegas. Long drive.
Not that bad of traffic, though.
Yeah, not
it being a day before EDC.
Yeah, I feel like we beat the traffic for the most part, leaving as early as we did. Mm. Yeah, that was that. So the first day we bought some tickets to a.
Sorry guys, I'm really yawny and I keep freaking hitting the mic with
what the heck?
my hand. Sorry.
What the heck? So yeah, our first day, so day 0, not day 1 of EDC, but day 0, Thursday night. We I guess we got into Vegas. Okay, we checked into our Airbnb. We went to Walmart at some point, got all of our snacks and food that we were going to eat while we were over in Vegas. We got some chicken so that Jacob could make his shredded chicken tacos that we could just eat right before we left for each day. Mm-hmm. This is like a little low. I don't keep it. I feel like I'm looking down a lot. Give me 1 second. So hopefully not. Not really. All right. Well, where was I at? We went to Walmart, picked up food, picked up snacks. We got a lot of, or I guess we also went to the store beforehand before we left and all that stuff to pick out some snacks that we wanted for our time in EDC. So then that night we ended up going to visit your sister at her work.
Not that night. As soon as we got into Vegas, that was our first stop.
That was that. Yeah.
My sister.
And then we went to the Luxor, the big pyramid thing. If you don't know what that is in Vegas, the Luxor hotel.
Yeah. It's a hotel.
They had a EDC pop-up shop over there.
iHeart Raves.
That's what it was. iHeart Raves pop-up shop. We got this, and it has all of the artists on the back,
the DJs,
the lineup. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then we also got a hoodie, and it looks just exactly like that, just a hoodie form.
Hoodie. This one was $40. The hoodie was $80.
Which isn't bad, right? Which isn't bad. That's normally what you're going to spend on if you go to a concert. Yeah. The T-shirts are going to be about 40. Hoodies are going to be about 80. Okay. I also spent $80 there. But let me tell you what I spent $80 on, okay?
Yeah.
One thing I happened to forget at Walmart was Liquid IV. So I ended up, like, when we got there was Liquid IV, and I was like, oh, okay, bet. I'll just get it here.
Didn't look at the price.
Well, there wasn't a price. Yeah, there was one on it. So then we go to checkout. Because you check out twice, not twice. You check out once, like, the main checkout area, and then once you're walking out, there's, like, little side booths with, like, and that's where we found the shirt and the hoodie and everything. But anyways, yeah, so we go through the line. I ended up paying $22 for the Liquid IV, which, yeah, it's a lot, but it's also something that was absolutely a must-have. So I was like,
yeah,
okay,
gotta stay hydrated, guys. Gotta stay hydrated.
Yeah, and then on our way out, while he was looking at the hoodies and the T-shirts, I see snacks, but like that aren't from here.
Just like those classic, like, Japanese weird snacks and whatnot.
Yeah. So I see Bubs, and I was like, oh my God, that's the best Swedish candy ever. Like, so I picked that up, and then I was trying to find something that he would like, so I'm looking.
Wait, we haven't even opened that bag yet, have we?
No. Ooh. It's underneath my...
I want to eat it before I got to go back to my diet.
Yeah. But I picked those up, and then I'm looking, and I find, I don't know, I guess they're like steak-flavored chips. And so I picked those up, and I was like, I'll just get 2 snacks. $34 for those 2 snacks.
The 2 things.
It was crazy.
Ridiculous.
It blew my mind. So not necessarily 80, but about 70, I'd say.
Oh, we also
tax and everything.
Yeah, we're jumping around a little bit, but we also went to Rubio's, which is our favorite.
Oh yeah.
Favorite fast food restaurant kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Rubio's. If you guys never had Rubio's, you gotta have Rubio's. If you go to Vegas or California, Rubio's. That's delicious. I always get the black and salmon burrito. Absolutely delicious. And then we also stopped at Arby's for Jacob to get some food because he doesn't like seafood at all. And last time we went to Rubio's with him, he didn't.
Well, it's a coastal grill. You don't have to. It's not only seafood. You can get like chicken tacos, chicken burrito.
Yeah, but he still didn't want anything from there, so.
Went to Arby's. But yeah, I ended up spending that much money on 2 snacks. I saw the price, and I thought it was like something like, you know, when say like you're at a McDonald's drive-thru and you can see the amount the person in front of you, like their amount. You know how you can see it sometimes when you go up before it goes off the screen. I kind of thought that's what happened. I thought maybe it was just like a leftover price from like
the $40.
You or Jacob checking out.
Uh-huh.
And she looks at me. She goes, "Okay, 34, whatever." And I was like,
"Brother, what?
Okay,
got to be serious, right?"
Like, right.
So we left there. That put a little dent in our wallets. Oh, but we did get free bags. We did each get
4. We got 2 each.
Yeah, every time you bought something, you got a free one of those tie string bags.
You would know that. What's they have a name?
Zip string bags. Those really
I don't know.
Those really basic ones. It's literally like just a bag with like the strings on it that you can like pull it and it'll tighten the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys know what it is.
But
you
they
know
have
what
a name. Drawstring?
Drawstring bag?
Yeah. No?
I don't know.
Something.
I don't know.
Anyways. No, it was after that. Then we went to the little... we went back to the Airbnb, got ready, and then we went to...
And then we went to the beach club. It was the...
Yeah.
I don't know what the name of it was, but they had...
Was it the Aria?
No, it was Mandalay Bay Beach Club.
Oh, well then that's the name.
No, I'm saying like the event name, not like the beach club name. It was... Yeah, I don't know. But they had Ahi playing. They had another couple... stuff. The genre of music that they were playing was hard techno, not hard techno, hard bass, hard style. That's what it was.
It was techno. No?
No, it was hard style. Like the up tempo, little Texas type beat, just kind of stuff that you wanna. Yeah, you know, that kind of stuff.
And then we didn't end up. It went till 3 a.m., but we all decided around 12.
Yeah, it was
gonna hop over to Fremont.
It's good and like
decision ever.
It was good until it wasn't. You know, like
that's exactly how I would explain it. It's good until it's not good anymore.
Yeah, like we like it music was good. I enjoyed it, but like it just got to a point where like, all right, I just want to listen to something else now. I don't think I could handle 5 hours of this.
Yeah. So
we ended up like dipping our toes a little bit in the water. That was nice, but. Yeah.
And someone traded their first candy with me while I was there.
But the water bottles at that place were $15. Yeah, I was like, could I get a water? And she was like, the water bottles are $15. I said,
oh,
never mind.
I'll starve.
But then she said, there's a water station over across on the other side.
Yeah, but you get free water. So
I was like, oh, okay. All right.
But then I had my first candy trade. Someone came up to me.
Just random. A random guy. He was grooving, and then he like tapped you on the arm, and then like.
But what sucked is I didn't really bring the ones that I wanted to trade.
Yeah.
So I was just like, here.
You kind of really almost didn't know what to do. You're like, it just caught you off guard.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
And then I ended up, when we sat down in the pool for a little bit, I ended up giving one to a girl that was sitting next to us.
Yeah,
she was really sweet. And then I followed her on Instagram. Yeah,
and then before we left, we were like, we have a podcast. What if she sees this? That'd be pretty cool.
That would be pretty cool.
We're talking about, if you see this, we're talking about you. The people we were sitting next to that were jamming out with the music.
In the pool, with their feet in the pool.
Yep. Yeah. In the corner. You know who you are if you're watching this. Comment down below. Be like, hey, that was me. Please. Yeah, right. And then share this with all of your other friends. Yeah.
And then after that, our friends got in late, and we decided to leave from that beach club and go to Fremont for another thing that I highly dislike.
Oh, yeah, we went to meet up with another friend of ours, and
we also went with friends that had just gotten into town, too.
Yeah. Well, Jacob, he was like, hey, you guys want to go see Rhythm?
But we didn't really know what that was. Yeah, or you probably knew it better than I did. I didn't know. I mean,
even then, like, I was kind of like, because I've heard good Rhythm.
Yeah.
And like I was expecting not what we were listening to, okay? Because like there are some artists that do good rhythm, okay? And like, and it's also very different when you're hearing it on headphones and you're hearing it in person.
Yeah.
Okay, so we go to Fremont Street, and if you guys ever heard of these people, they're called the Three Stooges. What?
That night, men were being so gross to me.
Oh yeah. Ew.
On Fremont, dude. So disrespectful. It was annoying. Right before, but it was after, so I'll tell you more about that after what happened. Yeah.
But we go to this rhythm show, and you didn't bring earplugs. I brought earplugs, and
because at the other one we didn't really need them. I mean, it wasn't that loud.
Yeah, as long as you weren't super close to the stage, which we weren't. Yeah. We were just kind of chilling in the back, for a good while. But this place, it was a very enclosed space. It was in like I want to say it was like in the open backyard of a club, basically. And there was like this van where the DJs were up in like, in our vlog that I posted,
on
YouTube already. It should be out already, or it is out already. You guys can go watch that. Go check it out. Go give it a like. Go give it a comment. You can see it in one of like the first couple minutes, possibly something like that. First 5 minutes of the vlog. I show it, and it's just kind of Jacob walking around from where we were up high. But we started getting real sick of it real quick, and our other friends that we went with, they were They were jamming out. They were enjoying it. But me and Jerry, we were
and
like...
we also rode with them. So
yeah,
it's not like we could have left.
And if we wanted to Uber home, it was literally $50+.
No, it was 80. When you looked it up from there, it was 80. Because we were going to Uber.
No, but just for regular Uber X, it was like $50. And I was like...
yeah, no.
No, I'm not. Yeah. We're just...
Nope. So we just kind of dealt with it. And I was getting sleepy real quick.
And then it came to like 3 o'clock, and we were like, all right, we were told this show was only going till 3 o'clock. These guys aren't stopping. Okay. They're still... and
that's another thing.
How are you beeping people doing? Yeah. Literally.
Beep, beep, beep. But you can't... They didn't sound like that. It was...
yeah.
And it's like,
swearing
what?
at the crowd, putting middle fingers up, flipping off the crowd. Everybody's flipping off the DJ's back. It's like a...
it's like, what? Not even fun.
Like,
It gets to the point, it's like, ew. The energy's gross in here.
And so we got up to like kind of like a... we went up these flights of stairs, and there was this little area that we kind of chillaxed at when music was a little bit less loud in that area, but it was still really loud. And I felt really bad for her because her ear, I just know her ears were hurting and at that point.
And I was getting a headache, and I was tired. And when I'm tired, when I'm really tired, I'm angry.
Mm-hmm.
Angry. And I think this is where I sat in gum. Pretty sure.
Yep. Yep, she sat down just in the corner.
Sat down someone's chewed gum, bro.
Mm-hmm. And then we were like, I was like, do you want to just go across the street into El Cortez and just hang out in the casino and just sit down away from the music? And she was like, yeah. So we ended up going down, talking to Jake, be like, hey, we're going to go across the street and just hang out. But then, like, once we... started to leave, there was a space where the music was a lot, like you could still hear the music, but it wasn't as loud, and there was like empty couches, and we were like, bet we'll just hang out here. So we hung out there for like maybe like 10-20 minutes, something like that. And then there was a guy he passed. He was like it is 3 in the morning, like, y'all go home already.
Go to bed. I was like right,
that's what I'm saying. I need my friends to come out and take us home, please. Yeah,
because we also like needed to be up early and get ready early for the next day, and then we were gonna be up all night Friday night. So it was, I don't know.
We need to be up at 2 o'clock. You need to be up even earlier to get your hair done, and
yeah,
it just started to become a chore at that point. And so they finally came out, and then they were like, hey, let's walk up and down Fremont Street, because one of our friends that were with us had not seen Fremont Street yet. So
I was so tired when they said let's walk up Fremont. I wanted to burst into tears. I was like,
please take us home.
But while we were walking down, I didn't notice it, but our couple of our friends, their fiancés, and I was walking next to, I'm not going to say her name, but I was walking next to the girl, and Andre's on my other side, the girl was on the other side, and then her fiancé was just a little, like, right next to her, just walking a tad bit ahead of her, or behind her, I mean. And this guy came to go, like, tapped on my shoulder, and her fiancé was like, hey, man, that's her husband right there. And I don't know what he was going to say, don't know what he was going to do, I don't know. And then she grabbed my hand, and she was like, yeah, don't.
Props to her. Yeah. Props to her.
And I was like, oh, thank you guys for saving me. And then we got all the way down to the end of the Fremont. And we turned back around, and my ring gets stuck in his hair. So he stops in front of me, and I'm behind him trying to get my ring out of his hair. Some guy comes up, rubs his whole hand across my back, and said something. And I looked at him, and I said, don't touch me. I was like, don't touch me. He
rubbed his hand across your back, kept walking, turned around. He's like, come with me.
Yeah.
And I looked at him. I was like,
ugh.
Ugh.
Yeah, and
then you said, don't touch me.
Yeah, I was like, don't touch me.
Like, ugh, that's just gross. Like, brother, keep your hands to yourself.
Yeah. Ugh. It was gross.
Brother, Brother,
Then we finally got in the car. And where I had sat on my gum, we were squished in the back. There's 4 of us in the back seat of the car. So I had my butt on his leg, and I got gum on his brand new shorts.
Yep. But
because of the way I had to sit. Not as bad though.
Whatever. I don't really care as much as you did about Joe Pants. Yeah, you were walking home covering your butt, and you were like, you can't even see it.
And it was these shorts. They're black, and it was bright green, and you could see it, and it was just super embarrassing.
Yeah, I was like, you can't even see it, babe.
Super embarrassing.
Babe, calm down. You can't even see it.
It was embarrassing. Though.
We got home. Did we take a shower that night? I don't know. Probably. Yeah, we probably did.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And then day 2 started, or day 1 of EDC started. Woke up, showered, got all ready and whatnot. I was all paranoid about our food getting taken, right? And
I know you were trying to shove it in places.
I put my food in underwear, rolled it up, put it at the bottom of my bag. Because you're not supposed to take
outside food and drinks, but womp womp.
But
God
we also
did
not want to pay for the food at EDC because it was expensive.
Everything's $20 or more there, except water.
So
you can get free water, but you also can buy water bottles, and they're only $5, which is terrible, but better.
Yeah. But what was I? Oh yeah, I was all paranoid, asking Jacob. I was like, "Are they gonna find this? Are they gonna find this?" And he was like, "Yeah, this is fine. It's fine." But I was still paranoid. I was like, "What if they take my snacks, dude? What if I get in trouble for taking snacks in?"
Just
but
what
I really want
I
snacks.
put my food at the bottom of my what are they called?
Hydro packs.
Yeah, at the bottom,
Camel
and then I
packs.
just put my pashmina over it.
Yeah.
And then I put everything else on top. And I kind of shoved it down, but seriously, when we got there, they literally have you open your biggest compartment of your bag.
The first girls so we got there pretty early the first day, and it was just we basically just walked straight into the festival. Mm-hmm. First did was got our IDs out. They checked our IDs. And then we scanned our wristbands, and then we go through security. Jacob was looking for, this was really smart. So there are some security that are do more thorough and whatnot, but you can kind of tell which ones are more laid back and whatnot. So the ones that Jacob picked, they were super, super nice, right? So they were
I got a different guy than them.
Oh yeah, but we were going through, and Jacob was like, just act like you're having a good time. And I was like, all right. So I'm just kind of bumping to the music that they got kind of playing in the background and whatnot. And I noticed that when I'm nervous and I try and smile, my smile twitches.
Quivers. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah. Does it happen with you too? Or
no, I've seen you do it.
Really?
Yeah. Your little lip twitches because I'll be like, are you okay?
It's weird, but ooh.
But the guy I went to, he was like, oh, wait, before I check your bag, can we trade candies? I was like, yeah.
No, yeah, the girl when I went up to, she was like, can I have a candy? And I was like, yeah. So we did the whole peace, love, unity, and respect. She gave me one. I gave her one. And then I got through, and then another girl asked me for a different candy, and before I went through, I was like, yeah, let's go first EDC. And then she was like, oh, can I have a candy? And I was like, yeah, sure. So I started trading candy with her, or I gave her a candy, and then the girl that was standing next to her, she was like, it's his first EDC, you're the one supposed to be giving him a candy. I was like, oh, but so then she gave me a candy. She was like, I made this with my little sister, so that has a lot of love in it. I was like, oh,
cute.
How cute is that? I didn't get one back.
I just gave one.
So we got in with all of our snacks. No
all they
problem.
do, all 3 days, it's just they open your bag, just, I assume, make sure you don't got a gun on you and you're good.
They didn't, I had this, front utility bag, a front bag thing. It, when it straps on my back, and then right here had a couple pockets. They didn't even have me open that up. I was like,
yeah, I didn't open my fanny pack except the last day. She was just like, I just need to take a peek, so I opened it. She's like, all right, you're good.
Yeah. So got in easy with all of our snacks in our bag. So cha-ching, package secured. Step 1, go. We start walking up to the front gates, and oh my gosh, let me tell you, getting the view of all of EDC, just that main kinetic stage, was absolutely breathtaking. Like, I walked in, I was like, whoa. Like, video does not, like, if you watch any videos, it does not compare to the size of how big these stages are. It is absolutely breathtaking, jaw-droppingly huge.
Like, you're this big compared to the stage. No lie.
It is absolutely
you are a little baby.
Huge, dude. So as soon as you walked in, you can see Kinetic. Oh no, not Kinetic. No. Cosmic Meadow. Cosmic Meadow. That's what it's called. It's like the big almost stage that looks like a big flower.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was like the first stage that you see, and then over off on the left you see Kinetic Field. So we were like, all right, we're gonna go to Bamboo Village, and we can see that from the bleachers. We're going to go to Bamboo Village, and meet up with our friends Devin, Cole, and Allie.
I said I wasn't going to say their names.
Oh, that's fine.
Oh.
That's fine. I put them in the YouTube video. I haven't named them. I know. Devin, Cole, Allie.
Well, that's who I was talking about. That's who saved me from that freaking man on Fremont Street.
Yeah. So we go down to Bamboo Garden, and... he was like, Jacob was like, if we ever get lost or separated, this is our meetup spot. Now we were like, all right, heard. So I actually really, really loved the Bamboo Garden. It was a safe place the whole time throughout EDC.
It's peaceful over
there.
Very,
very peaceful.
People use it to just sit and chill and take a second.
A lot of people taking naps over in that area, sitting with friends, waiting for people and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. Very nice, very beautiful.
And just getting off their feet.
You can hear Cosmic Meadow from there, and you can also slightly hear Wasteland a bit. We'll tell you about those stages. So after we met with them, and then during this time we were waiting for the gates to open to the rest of the EDC area. Mm-hmm. So Devin, I think he was like, what is it? Bionic Jungle's open right now. If you want to go check it out. So we were like, yeah. So we got actually before that we got water. We bought water,
though.
We bought water.
Because
spent like $30 for 6 water bottles, and we also got free cups of ice.
I'm picky with water. Mm-hmm. If you ever met someone picky with water, I don't even drink fountain water. Yeah. That stuff grosses me out. Yet I only fountain Dr. Pepper, really. But that's because it's not clear, and I cannot see what goes in my drinks. So, and if there's something in it, oh well. But if it's water and there's something in it,
picky.
Done with it. So yeah, we got water bottles.
We ended up going to
bladders, as in the thing in the bag, or in the backpack that holds the water.
Yeah, we went to Bionic Jungle, hung out there for 10, 20 minutes, something like that, and then they opened the gates. And then we walked to Kinetic Field, and bro, that was the most beautiful stage that I ever saw. And
I'm sure you could insert little pictures.
No, y'all just go watch. Just go watch the vlog.
Yeah.
Sorry, but I'm not gonna spend a whole bunch of time adding in those little things in just this podcast when you can just go watch the vlog. Just go watch the vlog. We already have 30 views on the vlog, guys. So go check it out, please. Please go check it out. If you don't know, it's already up. It is up. Just so freaking beautiful. Okay. So we got up to the front, the absolute front rail of Kinetic, and Jacob was like, guys, this is the closest you will ever get to this stage right here. So take it all in. And boy, did we.
Oh yeah.
We got our earplugs in right up there.
And your whole body is vibrating from the bass.
Dude.
Vibrating. I was standing there looking at my fan, and my fan was like...
I've never felt that much freaking bass in my entire life.
Yeah.
You can
the
feel
hairs on your arm are wiggling. You can feel it literally feel
your
the bass.
Toes, feel it in your spine, feel it in your heart, feel it in your stomach, feel it in your lungs, feel it in your brain, and boy, do you feel it in your brain. And
even you did you see the girls that had their hair down it was lifted a little bit from the bass?
I didn't notice that. You probably seen it in the video somewhere.
Yeah, the bass was lifting their hair.
But I've never experienced that much bass, and what I noticed is that that amount of bass, it creates this layer of like air around your face and your skin, and it feels like all of those tiny little hairs on your face are just vibrating. And it feels like that you feel like you gotta like rub your face because there's just something on it, but it's just full of bass. Yeah, it was. I really enjoyed the music that was playing at that moment. I don't know who the DJ was, who the artist was that was playing that, but we were just sitting there. I was taking in the absolute beauty of Kinetic Field. It was so beautiful. And I guess apparently they changed it up a little bit from last year. It looked a little different. They had more of like a steampunk-ish kind of look to Kinetic Field compared to last year's.
Compared to this year's.
No, this year was like a more steampunk-esque compared to last year's Kinetic Field.
Yeah.
I believe. I'm pretty sure. So then we made our way around EDC. What?
If you talk this slow and tell every detail the way you are, we're going to be here for the next 6 hours.
True.
So just leave out the minuscule little dumb details.
Okay.
But
I want to express the beauty of that stage. The other stages are pretty quick.
Day 1, explain it. But I'm saying when it gets to day 2, day 3, we can leave out the little details that don't really matter.
So we make our rounds. We go to Quantum Valley, which is like a covered. It's almost like a tent in a way. We jammed there for a little bit. Base there was basically the same. We were like right up close, right to the rail. Yeah, this first couple hours, we were all like right up to the rail in these first few stages.
And I didn't think it was gonna get much worse than that. Like I knew it was gonna get way more people, but
like we did not expect what we experienced,
bro.
Yeah,
it was claustrophobia if I've ever seen it in my life. Holy.
Yeah, so we ended up leaving Quantum Valley, and then we went to Neon Garden, and it was like it was like covered, but like not covered. It was basically you see it in the vlog, okay? You see it in the vlog. We were right up on the rail. Same thing. Music booming. After that, I think we went to go sit down at like the Pixel Forest area for a little bit, I want to say. And then after that, I think we went down to Circuit Grounds and Base Pod to go check out those.
Oh, Little Grass Hill at Base Pod. Oh, such a vibe.
And then I can't remember if it was near the end of the night or whatnot, but maybe like after the fireworks, I don't know. But we went to this stage called Stereo Bloom. It's one of the smaller stages, and there's like these hexagons. There's like these 5 hexagons that show like visuals and whatnot. So that was pretty cool. But while we were there, guys, we had an experience that shook us to the bones, and it was not on our bingo cards for this EDC trip. Yeah. So we were jamming out to the music, right? Jamming out, dancing a bit, and I noticed this group of people to my right. Okay, we were with. I don't think Jacob was with us.
It was just me, you, Ali, Devin.
Yeah, and Cole. Jacob went off on a side quest to go get some water or whatnot. So I see these people, and I was watching TikToks before EDC, and I was like, and like some TikToks were talking about like once you see flashlights pull out, then you know something's going on. So I look over to my right, and people are starting to pull out flashlights. They're starting to gather around somebody, and I was like,
"Oh no!"
I can't really see what's going on, but I'm like, this can't be good. So I start inching my way over there. I'm like,
and the reason like, what's going on? What's going on over there? Like, first of all, make sure whoever it is okay, and number 2, we both brought a Narcan with us.
So like we were ready to save someone's life on this EDC trip, if needed. Praying to God we didn't have to, but we were prepared. So trigger warning, right? So I start inching my way over. I see in between these 2 people that someone's laying on the ground, and people are trying to get him up. I see somebody like rubbing his chest, like how you're supposed to do with people who are unresponsive, are currently ODing. But I started inching my way over, and I was like, do I was like, do you guys need Narcan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I already said it.
Yeah. Well, anyways, so I asked him, I was like, do you guys need this? And as soon as I asked that, I looked over and someone was already administering that to them. And so I was like, oh, okay. So never mind. Like, they have it. They got it. It's under control or whatnot. So I was like, taking a second to breathe because it kind of shook me. And I kind of I go over to Jericho. I'm like, there's someone not doing good over there.
Yeah.
And like, they are currently unresponsive. The next thing I look over is this guy, like he's up and like he's twerking. So I'm like, oh. Okay, so he looks to be fine now, but then as soon as right after that he starts going, like starting to become like, nodding off, like
can't stand.
Mm-hmm. And so he's got his buddy or somebody carrying him, and people are starting to go try and find help and whatnot.
Yeah, no, when he came over to me, he was like, hey, so like there's someone over there that's like
not doing good.
Yeah. He obviously told me like what was happening, but he was saying it like that. And next time I said, "You have it on you, go give it to him." He was like, "Well, they already have it, but like you were like, yeah, so like someone over there is like not okay." And I was like, "Yeah, oh no!" Like I looked over there, and then I saw him, and he was literally just like. And I looked I almost started crying because that's just scary. And I've never witnessed something
my knees
like
were
that.
shaking. My knees were shaking.
And we both looked at each other, and I was like, that was
heavy.
really heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can only imagine what that person was probably going through. Like in that moment of like the reason why he got up and started shaking ass or whatever. Like in that point, I feel like
in that split second, he probably the last thing he remembers is vibing with the music, I assume.
Or my thought process was that like maybe like he kind of in a way knew that he was going through that, and once he was able to become more responsive and whatnot, trying to in a way kind of play it off and be like I'm okay, and then just kind of falling back into that. That was kind of like my thought process. I don't know how that stuff works, what it's like to go through that, and I pray to God I never have to experience that. But yeah, again, I hope that man made it home safe. I hope that man's still living life, and I hope his friends took care of him very well. So,
and one thing about EDC is they are very prepared for anything that might happen.
They give out free.
It is free. Anything you need medically is free.
Yeah. They have med stations set up. They have places where you can get free things, and they show you exactly how to give it to people, make sure what to check for, make sure what to do. They show you where all the med tents are. There's even places where they're called Oasis, where it's basically just this big room full of beanbags, so people that are going through it harder than others, it's just kind of like a safe space, which is really cool. Very, very awesome of them. Very awesome for
and ground
EDC
control
to
hangs
do that.
Out in there and checks on everyone that's in there because
they give away free thermal blankets for anybody who needs them. And
believe
whatnot.
it or not, people do while they're there.
Lots.
Yeah. And they know they can't stop anyone from doing that or sneaking it
Literally almost anywhere we turned on our trip into EDC, there was someone doing something. Someone
right
doing
out
something.
in the open, just right there.
Yep, right there. And that's why you got to be very, very careful with things that you take from other people, because you just never know. You never know. Even if someone's acting blur or whatnot, they may not be genuine in the blur.
And you got to be careful. Yeah, because even like standing in bathroom lines, a lot of people were offering. I got offered, someone gave me a paper towel, but I watched him open it in front of me. Brand new bag of paper towels. And he said, hey, there's no toilet paper in that bathroom. Take one of these so you can at least wipe, And I did, and I'm fine. But I watched him open it freshly. That's why I took it. Even then, it was still kind of scary because you never know. They could have resealed it. anything. And you can get contact from anything.
Yeah.
They can put that on anything, and if you touch it, it can make you not okay. So you got to be super careful. And then another time we got offered wet wipes because they ran out of water to wash your hands with.
And I was like, it was in like this little packaging. So I was like, oh, let me just read this, make sure it's not tampered with or anything. Feel it, squish it, just making sure everything's all good. And it seemed all good. We used it. We were fine.
Yeah.
So there are people that are genuine.
Like, hey,
are genuine,
there's
very
some
kind.
no toilet paper in there. Here's something to wipe with.
So always be prepared for that kind of stuff. Always educate yourself. Yeah. Be prepared to save someone's life because someday you just might need to do that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We'll move on.
Move on to higher vibes, better vibes, whatnot. So that night...
You gotta speed it up.
That's okay. So that night, we didn't end up staying till sunrise, okay?
Pretty freaking much, dude.
Pretty close,
it was like
but then
5.
not. So, like, we wanted to go, I said I'm down for this person. I can't remember what the artist name was. It was Gorgon City. That's what it was. We ended up going to Gorgon City. The crowd had settled down a lot. There wasn't very many people at this time. It was more of a house set and whatnot. Okay.
And speaking of crowds, when I tell you, you are jam-packed. Like, this is you. Everyone is like this around you. Like, you don't have space.
Mm.
You just don't have space. And that's fine, okay? I'm cool with standing there with people that are literally touching shoulder to shoulder. Whatever, I get it. It's the people walking in and out of crowds, and they're trains of people. So they got hand in front of them, hand behind them, and it's like 30 people. And so you just you just cannot move because they're moving this way, another person's coming, or another train's coming this way, another train's coming this way. Like,
there's like as soon as you get a lot of space, it'll get filled in immediately with train or people and whatnot. Kind of ridiculous. All right. So we ended up kind of just not vibing with Gorgon City. We were like, yeah, we'll just go home. We'll get a good amount of rest for the second night. We go home. I drive home. We actually got home a pretty decent amount of time. It maybe took...
And this man did all 3 days of driving.
It took 20 minutes to get out of the parking lot, so it wasn't too bad. And then it took us another 20, 30 minutes to get home.
And you did driving there and back every single day. On day 3, I tried. I felt like I was good, and I got in the car. I got in a line of traffic and nodded off.
Standstill traffic.
And nodded off, and I was like, when I felt myself, like, I felt my head fall, and that's, like, kind of what woke me up, and I looked at him, and I was like, I can't drive.
And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I got out of the car.
I felt so bad, but I was like, I'm already falling asleep, and we haven't even moved 3 inches from the spot we were just in.
So,
I felt so bad.
Got home, showered, went to sleep, got ready for day 2. Mm-hmm. Okay. Got it for day 2, drove there. We parked in a closer lot, which I low-key regret parking in that lot because it was a little more difficult to get out of. Yeah. It wasn't as organized as the first lot, the green lot. The green lot is all concrete, and there's like a dedicated way to get out, and people lined up very well, very, very mindful, very manure, okay? But this brown lot, it was just chaos with people trying to get out. There was one exit, and there was a line of cars, 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 line of cars.
People were making their own lines,
and everybody needed to merge into one.
Yeah, but people were making their own lines that went nowhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
literally went nowhere.
So second day, okay, got into the festival, pretty quickly. Same deal. Got in our snacks.
Yeah. Seriously,
big
like
win.
I said, every day it's only the big pocket.
Big
they
win.
just check like this, and they're like, all right, you're good.
So
super
we got in. We met with Devin, Allie Cole, and we went to go see, I can't remember his name, but it was over at Kinetic Field. Cole eventually needed water for some reason. I can't remember why, but the thing is with Cole, okay, he is very allergic. Extremely allergic to peanuts, okay?
Yeah.
So, Jacob said, "Hey, do any of you guys have water?" But
No. Jacob said, "Y'all eat peanuts today?" I was like,
yeah,
what?
he said, "Have any of you guys eaten peanuts?" I was like, "What? Why?" He was like, "Because Cole's really allergic. Maybe he needs water." And we were like, I was like, I kind of ate granola or peanuts, like a bag of peanuts or nuts, some sort of type of nuts.
Trail mix on him.
Yeah, in the past 24 hours. And you were like, "Oh, I have water, but I had a granola bar yesterday."
Yeah.
Okay? And so he was like,
"Oh,
he said, "Oh, that should be fine."
Yeah.
And like, if you're allergic to someone, we assume that like you know what you're doing, whatnot. Okay, and he did know what he was doing, but it didn't register with him at the time.
That I had been drinking off of this after eating a granola bar.
Yeah. So, whoopsies.
Yeah.
So a few minutes go by, okay, and I see him go up. I see Cole go up to, I can't remember who, either Allie or Devin, and he was like something med tent, and I was like, "What?" And we all started walking away. I was like, "What's happening?" And he was like, "Cole's getting an allergic reaction," and we were like, "Oh no!"
Right. And he has EpiPens on him, but it doesn't just take EpiPens for him. He needs to be like on an IV, and it can be scary.
All the sort of stuff. So
the smallest amount, like a single peanut, he could kill him.
Yeah,
so,
literally half a peanut is able to kill the man.
So it's scary. It was scary. And
So we go over to the med tent. It wasn't very far. We all sat in there, and at this point it was really, really freaking windy this day. So we were like, "All right,
annoyingly windy.
We're out of the wind. No
and
more
cold.
Dirt in our eyes. Out of the wind inside of this tent. Lots of light. Sitting down. Okay, it was nice. Honestly, enjoyable in the med tent.
So cold. My day 2 outfit only lasted for the first 10 minutes before I got cold, and then Devin, the sweetheart he is, gave me his jacket because we didn't bring any.
Yep.
So he gave me his jacket to wear for the night, but it was so cold, nothing was helping. Like, I even got my emergency blanket out. That didn't help. Like, the jacket, it was just cold. Like, it was just ridiculous how cold it was that night.
So we
go into the med tent.
And then Cole's talking to one of the guys in there,
explaining everything.
He got Benadryl, and he was like, "If you don't feel better in the next so and so minutes,"
and they also explained,
you'll be good, or if you do happen to, I guess, get more allergic reaction, then there's a place that you can go where you can get IVs. I'm pretty sure, yeah.
It's right behind him.
Oh. Anyways, what were you gonna say?
He also explained, he was like, it shouldn't be that bad because if she ate it yesterday, she's been drinking off of it on and on and on, meaning like I've rinsed it, Like at this point, the peanuts weren't like...
Peanut.
Like, it was like
peanut.
Yeah.
it wasn't peanut, it was peanut.
Yeah. So he was like, she's probably flushed most of it out. Like, you should be... like, all right. And which was, I assume he slightly thought that too.
Yeah.
Like, when he did it, he was probably like, she's been drinking off the water all day, so it's probably not.
Yeah.
Like, still, contaminated. I'm sure that's what went through his head too.
So we ended up staying there for a while, which, I mean, he felt really bad. He was like, "No, you guys go, go." And we were like, "No, like..."
And I told him, I said...
You would do the same for us, and we're out of the wind right now, so it's really not that big of a problem.
Yeah, and I kept saying, I was like, if I was having this problem, it would mean a lot to me if you guys stayed with me. So I'm going to, stay with you and make sure you have people with you and you have someone to talk to and stuff while you're, waiting for this to go away.
Yeah.
Because I was like, if I went through that, I'd want someone to hang out with me too. So, yeah.
Yeah, so at some point we went to go fill up all of our waters.
Well, we left. He didn't want to leave that med tent specifically because they then knew all of his symptoms and issues, and they could have helped him a lot quicker than going to a new med tent and re-explaining everything.
Well, I mean, we went to the water station, though. And then we decided, we think we're going to split up from here.
Oh, yeah.
Because me, Devin, Jacob, we were going to go to Base Pod.
And then Allie, and Cole went to the Oasis just to chill out, which is right next to the med tent that we were just at. So he just wanted to chill close by until his symptoms were going away, which it was a good hour and a half, but I was fine with it because we weren't out in the wind and it wasn't cold where it was. I mean, it was kind of cold where we were because it is the Oasis is a tent too, so I mean you can still feel the outside air, and it was cold. It was cold. Being out by the stages was unenjoyable that night.
Yeah.
So I was cool with it. I was like, I'm down for this.
Cole ended up being fine, okay?
Yeah,
we ended up meeting back with each other. Devin, his old sweetheart, he was like, I'm so glad you're okay, Cole. Like,
yeah.
So glad you're all right.
He's glad we were all back.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, oh my gosh, I was stressing with you guys not being with us.
Yep, and shout out to Verizon, okay, not sponsored. Shout out to Verizon. We had pretty good service almost in any spot that we were at over at EDC. Anybody else who didn't have Verizon, they were stuck with no service at all.
All they had was a totem to find their people with.
Yeah. So, we were able to find each other really well with texting and stuff like that, like Find My as well.
FaceTiming and everything. All that thing.
Was it day 2 that Nico, he ended up FaceTiming he ended up FaceTiming me, and I'm not sure what he FaceTimed me for, but
because you couldn't hear.
We were in the middle of a crowd, music was going on, we were jamming, lights, everything, and then I answer, and I showed like the stage and whatnot, and he was like, oh, give me a sec. He goes in his room, turns on like the LED lights in his room. He started like dancing with us, bopping to us, and it was the funniest thing ever.
It was like one of my favorite memories right there.
It was the funniest thing ever. Love Nico. Shout out Nico.
We love you.
Should have came with us. Anyways, what did we do after that?
Took a nap.
Oh yeah, it ended up getting so freaking cold.
Yeah.
We were like, all right, we're just gonna try and get warm somehow. We ended up going to Bamboo Village. We tried to go to Oasis at one point, but Oasis was absolutely full at this time of night.
Yeah.
Yeah, once it starts to get into the later times, Oasis is just full.
Yeah.
And so we were like, all right, we're gonna go to Bamboo Village. All we had to cover ourselves was pashminas and a thermal blanket. Okay.
It's not a thermal blanket. It's literally foil.
It's not even foil. It's like plastic.
And it's just an emergency blanket, but they just don't work for me.
But we ended up laying down, trying to get a little bit of sleep because you were getting real, real tired, and I was getting pretty tired too. So we were like, we're gonna try and lay down, rest up a bit,
cuddling up to each other to get body heat as hard as we could.
It just started getting real cold. At this point, everybody else was kind of just doing their own thing. We were by ourselves together, and I was like, "You want to just go over to the Spire, the Spire of Fire?"
Yeah.
This is big, tall, like thing that like.
Yeah. Before we left, we were sitting there, and this girl goes, "Here's these little sprouts for you guys. They're so cute too. Little metal hearts, like clips."
Yeah. Oh, I actually like I didn't want to be weird, but like I was laying down because they sat down like right next to us.
Yeah.
And like I
right
looked
by
up.
my head. I was like,
I looked
dang.
up and I was like, I don't want to be weird and just look at them. So I like went in my little pouch and I gave them a trinket. I gave each of them a trinket, and then they gave us the sprouts, the little metal heart sprouts.
I didn't know you did that.
So yeah.
I know, like booty right next to my head. I was like, damn, y'all.
Yeah, when I heard them, like when I seen how close they were, I was like, why are you so close to us, bro?
And then some guys sat next to me right by my back and was like screaming at each other. I was like, God forbid someone's trying to nap next to you, bro.
And the thing is,
because they were screaming at each other like, yeah, bro, it was so fun over there. I was like, really? Like, you guys are right next to each other. Chill.
And then right before we got up, I was like, yeah, I had my earplugs, and you were like,
yeah,
bruh.
I didn't have mine, and
really?
I didn't even think about it.
But yeah, we ended up getting up, going over to the Spire Fire it's like right in front of Wasteland, and there was this big, huge tower thing that would like shoot up fire and whatnot, and it was like our one way of getting warm.
Yeah.
We warmed up that way, met up back with Jacob at some point.
We did not warm up.
We tried to warm up.
Yeah.
Met up back with Jacob at some point. And yeah, it was kind of end of day 2 after that. Day 3 was by far the best day out of all the days, in my opinion. Yeah. We were all prepared for the cold, right? I had a poncho. You had a hoodie.
Yeah, I brought the EDC hoodie. The only thing is this night, my legs were the most exposed of all 3 days.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The
bottom half of me was cold.
We saw artists that we all wanted to see. We enjoyed all the music that was that day. It was really good. I got to see Enzo.
Oh, wait. Day 2, we saw ISO Knock, and they played my favorite song. And during my favorite song, it was a grand finale fireworks. It was so cool.
Yeah.
So cool.
And then the fireworks went off at 1:40 every single night, so that was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to see, or no. Okay, before Enzo, we
also met up with Jacob's friends 2 days in a row. Yeah. Or maybe all 3 days in a row.
And they were so sweet. They were so nice.
Oh my God, she was so sweet. Oh, I mean, they all were.
Yeah.
We just knew Jacob's friend a little more.
Kind of. We just heard about her.
I feel like she was talking a little bit more to us.
Yeah.
Than the other ones. But we ended up getting to know all of them. They were all really, really sweet.
Mm-hmm. We ended up laying down in between, I want to say 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock-ish.
Did you get the video of us raving together at Isla Models or whatever it's called?
Jacob has that video.
You should have asked for it.
I'm pretty sure he put it inside one of his videos. But I also sent out a shared album that I asked everybody to put their pictures in. So hopefully they do that, but whatever.
I'm hoping. If not, we're making Jacob at least send the stuff. Because I want some of the stuff he took. Yeah. Of us especially.
Yeah. But we were wearing warmer clothes, okay? We ended up laying down around 12 o'clock, something like that. Ended up like a good hour 30. During that time where we were laying down, Little Texas was on, but like I was sleeping. Like womp womp, I didn't get to see Little Texas, but whatever.
Yeah, I know, it was a darn.
And then
I think that would have been a little much after a nap.
I texted Jacob, I was like, hey, let's meet up at this certain time to go watch Enzo. So we got up, and I was like, we should probably go start heading over there. And I'm glad we headed over there the time that we did, or we should have left a little earlier too, because we started heading over there, and you were like,
I gotta pee.
Run to the bathroom real quick. I was like, all right. She was like, not GA plus bathrooms because it takes a long time.
Even though they're nicer and cleaner.
Yeah. But even regardless, the regular GA bathrooms, it was jam freaking packed
And then we would be in a line for a bathroom, and I'd get to the front, and it was literally people just disrespecting the bathrooms. And there would be pee all the way up to the very brim of the toilet. And it's like, guys.
Toilet paper and pee stacked the toilet to the absolute top. And
it's frustrating.
Yeah. So then we ended up
disrespected the bathrooms, bro.
Yeah, we ended up waiting for one of the big porta potties. And then, like we were, like, next in line. I'm like, I look over, and we could kind of see Base Pod from where we were. And I was like, Enzo starting. She was like, I know, I'm sorry. I was like, it's okay. As long as he doesn't play Overthinker, we're good. And he didn't end up playing Overthinker until the very end.
Yeah.
So, we got there, met up with Jacob over at the Grass Hill, and then we all, as a group, went to somewhere kind of in the middle, but just more in the crowd, really. But yeah, I loved Enzo's set.
Me too.
It was so, like, wonky and
just like vibey.
It was vibey.
It's like the kind of music you just like lay in your bed and think about life a little bit.
Yeah, and then he ended off with his most famous song, Overthinker, and it was just beautiful, euphoric, like. such an amazing way to just kind of wind down the night. And then we went to another set after that. We went to Cosmic, and we kind of trained into the crowd a little bit for Cosmic. I liked the music that was playing. It was pretty good. And then like we seen that Devin and them, they texted Jacob. He was like, "Oh, Devin's up in the bleachers if you guys want to go up there."
Yeah, and I
so
said,
we were
peace.
Like, bet. So we ended up going up to the bleachers, met up with Devin,
and
was hanging out there.
And the greeting of just getting up there, Devin was like, "Oh my God,
yeah,
it's you guys."
Devin's just such a sweetheart. But yeah, we just kind of sat there and stayed until sunrise, and that was...
See, and I felt really good. Like, I wasn't getting tired sitting there. I was having good conversations with Devin. Like, that's why I was like, I got this. I can drive. I feel totally, like, awake.
Yeah, and I was the one dozing off. I was like...
Yeah, I'm sitting there trying to have the pashminas over your ears so it's not so damn loud.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a good way to end off EDC. Day 3 was definitely the best night in my opinion. Good all around day 3.
I feel like I had the most energy. At that point, my feet had hurt so bad they didn't hurt anymore.
Yeah. And then the day after that, we got home. We slept until like 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, something
5,
like that.
And then we went out to dinner with my sister and my niece and nephew and husband. I almost said husband-in-law, bro. Brother-in-law. Jeez. We went to P.F. Chang's. It was pretty good.
Boy, did it not sit with your stomach good, though. You were...
No. It tore my tummy
all
up.
night.
But it
next day.
It either was the food or it was the fact my body was like, girl, you have not eaten in 3 days. Or a full meal in 3 days, and now you choose this?
Right.
So it's either my body was just like, oh, you're feeding us a real meal. Or it was the food just didn't agree with my tummy.
Mm-hmm.
One of the two. It was yummy, though.
And then we decided to just kind of pack up early and then leave that night. And I was like, I'm not driving. Oh, let me tell you guys. Okay, so the morning the last day of EDC. Yeah, you were like, oh, I'm going to drive, Kay. And then you ended up not driving.
Yeah.
Okay, we ended up swapping. And we were in this line at like the back of the parking lot. And I was waiting. I was looking at other cars like cutting to the front of the line. I was like, no, I'm not going to be rude like that. Waited there for like 30 minutes. I was like, no, fuck this. So I start finding a shorter line and then like looking around, looking at other cars going to even shorter lines. I was like, all right, here we go. Different line. I was line skipping at this point. I finally found a good line that was moving at a good pace. It took us about an hour from getting to the car to leaving the parking lot. Mm-hmm. And then it took us almost another hour to actually get home. And I was dead tired on the way home. I was literally sitting there. I was sitting there in the car listening to music going dun, 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 on the back of the freaking headrest to try and keep myself awake.
You probably looked like you were going psycho.
I was like, wake up. I was like, I gotta get these guys home safe.
You too. 2 things we missed. When we went and laid down at Bamboo Garden, the third night, someone was fairly close to us had ended up having a seizure, which was really sad. The reason, how we found out is we were laying there like pretty much sleeping, and I hear this girl yell over me, "Hey, I think I'm just gonna make up a name. Hey, Tommy's having a seizure," and I like sat up and I was like, what? And then next thing you know, the med tech people are
like, move, clear away. I was like, how am I supposed to?
I was like, what happened?
Trying to grab our stuff, move it out of the way, and they didn't even go back the way that they came. I was like, all right, hurt.
Yeah, but they did. We also got sprouted that time too.
Yeah, while we were sleeping.
Someone left a sprout on us while we were sleeping. Mm-hmm. I think that's such a small, like,
cute little thing.
Cute gesture. I love it.
But that basically wraps up our EDC experience. Okay. Loved it. By the end of it, okay, loved it, enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. Everybody was super nice, okay. Everybody that we met was very, very nice, very, very sweet, very, very kind.
And the group we had is just like not another. I wouldn't have wanted to have a different group.
Yeah.
Being with Devin and Allie and Cole and Jacob and Jacob's friends, it was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm, it really was. Would we do it again? No.
Yes.
At least not back-to-back years.
No.
It is, trust me, guys, it is not for the faint of heart. Okay, you got to. I don't think there's really not a way that you can prepare yourself for your first EDC.
Yeah, someone says, because we were with his family today, and I was like, it really was worth every single penny. And his aunt was trying to ask me how, in what way, and I was like, you gotta be there to understand what I mean by that, And we rode a ride.
Yeah, we did ride a ride on the
that was really
third
fun.
day.
Yeah,
that's also made fun points go up on the third day.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe in the future. I definitely would probably want to go again. Maybe even if it's just a 1 day pass on a Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if it's like a 1 day thing, something like that. I don't know if my body would be ready to do a whole 5 day bender like that again.
3.
Yeah, that's what I meant. 3 day bender. And I'll probably admit a lot of people who love going back to back years, they're probably on drugs, guys. Not gonna lie.
And that's what's probably keeping them up and partying.
Yeah. They're probably popping stuff that is making their feet go numb, and they probably can't even feel their feet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So.
But yeah, props to you guys who do it back to back years every single year. Yeah, we'll probably. I'd say definitely consider it to go again in the future, but not to back to back.
Yeah,
years.
for now,
definitely taking a break for now.
Yeah, for now it's a no.
But we still loved every single bit of it. We still loved it. It was super, super fun. We recommend at least you go once in your life.
Yeah.
Go at least once in your life.
And even if it's not really your jam, if it's not your type of music, because it's not mine, and I had a lot of fun. But now I am noticing anytime I'm standing, I cannot stand still. I'm constantly
every time we got home and whatnot. Every time we got home, laid down, I could hear music in my head.
My brain was making its own music.
Our brains are currently wired to EDC. Any type of music that we're hearing, if we're standing up, we're either swaying or head bobbing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy what you feel after. It really is.
Mm-hmm. All right, that is all the time we have for you guys this week for today or whatever. If you guys aren't already following, please do, and show all of your friends, your families, your brothers, sisters, your moms, dad, blah, blah, blah. You know the gist, okay? Press that notification bell just so you get notified anytime an episode comes out. If you're on YouTube, subscribe, please do. And if you guys enjoyed this story, go send this to the last person you messaged. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's all we have for you guys today. Bye.
Bye.